Hi people, Murnu Reifenberg here. As you can tell from the header, this is a neutral video. I just wanted to bring people's attention. Something that people are unaware of. Some people, or not even some people, a lot of people in the world out there are unaware of how dependent all of us have become on simple things, things that we take for granted. Primarily things like social media, for example, social media sites like YouTube and Facebook, and it just goes on and on and on. And in case you weren't aware of it, then you're aware of it now, and I would simply tell you to brace yourself, as the header of this video suggests. Brace yourselves, okay? The thing is that sites like YouTube, for example, the reason before I continue, the reason that I'm recording this video, what inspired me or what prompted me to record this video is the fact that I think an hour or two ago YouTube fell out. The site simply stopped working, as in the interface was still present, but there were no videos, nothing. It was completely blank. And I kept getting error signals on my mobile phone. For example, I got 4421 error signals, the typical 404 error signals, okay? But on desktop, behind my laptop, I just got a blank screen. A blank screen as in where the video thumbnails are usually, where selectable videos usually are. There's nothing. You can't even go into YouTube Studio, nothing. And this isn't something that I'm unaware of, okay? That's why I think I have a backup, not I think, I have a backup on all important videos of that I uploaded on my YouTube channel. Okay, I excluded some videos because they weren't high priority. These are videos on some neutral topics, but every spirit video I did, every occult related video, I have a backup of it on my hard drive. So make no mistake about it. Worst case scenario, for example, is if God forbid, so to speak, not that that's gonna happen, but let's just say, metaphorically speaking, something happens ever, and my YouTube channel my YouTube channel gets deleted, or YouTube stops functioning altogether. Worst case scenario, it's almost an apocalyptic scenario. I can easily upload it on a different video streaming website, easily, quote unquote, easily. Okay. So yeah, the point is that a lot of people are unaware of it. The thing is that we've grown so accustomed to to, to certain social media websites like YouTube and Facebook and whatnot, that a lot of people out there, I'm not one of them, but a lot of people out there have grown so accustomed to it that they're unaware. They haven't become unaware, they are unaware, period. They are unaware of how essential it is to their daily lives, and therefore they're also not prepared psychologically, so mentally as well as otherwise, for what happens if, in the worst case scenario, these sites simply cease to exist. Because when it comes down to it, at the very least, the absolute majority of these sites are still under private ownership. They're private corporations, so they belong, or they either they are or they belong to private corporations. So if they just want to pull the plug one day, even if it's a site as giant as YouTube, YouTube can simply say, okay, we're going to pull the plug. Google can do the same thing. We're going to pull the plug. Facebook, Twitter, all of these sites, we're going to pull the plug. Boom. End of story. And there's nothing you can do, more or less. I mean, you can protest, you can go into appeal, the whole matter will be brought before a judge, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, because in essence, these sites are more like public platforms. They're like any other government maintained. They're like any government maintained factor of society that you make use of, and that a lot of people, the majority, takes for granted. Things like infrastructure, bus routes, metro stations, and trains coming and going, arriving and departing, airfields with flights coming in and out. People take all of that stuff for granted. They just automatically assume that it's there, and it's abnormal if it's not there because it's supposed to be there. But that's the point. That's how accustomed we've grown to it. These things have become a public service, despite the fact that they, at the very least, theoretically still fall under private ownership. So yeah, that's something that needs to keep in mind. If you ask me, my opinion, this is solely my opinion. My opinion is that, yeah, some social media websites and whatnot have grown or become so expansive that they do require government regulation, especially in terms of major changes such as terminating said social media platform altogether. But yeah, that's just my opinion. I know that I'm not by far not the only one that shares that opinion, but yeah. In any case, I would simply advise people: listen, brace yourself, okay? Brace yourself for the worst case scenario. This I also discussed this in a video that you can check out in the end screen, in which I discussed that you need to adopt the worst case scenario mindset, and this applies to neutral topics as well as in your life, okay? Because the last thing you want to do is be surprised that nothing's working anymore, as in everything collapses. One day you wake up and you run a YouTube channel and boom, YouTube isn't there anymore, or your channel isn't there anymore, it's deleted, or YouTube simply stops working, or YouTube has decided to restrict themselves to just Google's, which owns YouTube, has just decided to restrict themselves to no video platforming, or severely basic thing, you name it. They made some cockamamie change which makes it so that in any case you can't stream videos anymore. I know that at least, bluntly put, I think at least 60% of the world, roughly, crudely, and bluntly put, 60% of the world is going to go ape shit. I'm not kidding. People will lose their minds. But that's my point. You need to be prepared for stuff like this, okay? You need to have a backup option, which I do, okay? There are plenty of alternatives which are small time. Not that I'm promoting any of them. BitChute, you've also got Vimeo, you name it. You can easily find a good deal of alternative video streaming websites. Minds as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But my point is that they're not as flashy as YouTube, by the way, in case you were unaware of it. Okay, but yeah, these are smaller sites with a much smaller budget and personnel and blah blah blah. My point is that it should not come as a surprise if it does happen. I'm not going to enjoy it. I am not going to enjoy it as well, okay? I'm not going to enjoy if this does happen and my social media accounts get deleted due to the site collapsing, those sites collapsing, as I mentioned before in the aforementioned scenario. But it's not going to be a total loss, because I will do whatever I can to recover, okay, and to recover my backups that I have stored. So yeah, a practical solution that I can give people, for those of you out there, if you have anything that's worth saving, save it as a backup option. My website, I have no issue sharing this with people. My website, my WordPress website, make no mistake about it, MarinoRavenberg.com. I back this website up at least twice a year, I think. At least twice a year. So I always have a backup in handy. If for some reason, WordPress makes some kind of administrator or moderator makes some fucks up in a royal way and deletes my site altogether or something like that, then I still have the backup. So I can easily put my site back up online, etc., etc., etc. The exact way it was before that happened, that misfortunate event happened. And the same goes for my YouTube channel. Like I said in the beginning, I have pretty much every video that I have created, an occult-related video. I also have the majority of neutral topics like this one that I'm discussing, but not all of them, because some of them I didn't deem worthy or it was inconvenient at the time, and I was like, man, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter that much. It's okay, fine, It's if it gets deleted or something, it gets deleted. I don't mind that much, because it's not an occult video to begin with. But primarily the most important videos, 90% of my videos have been saved. Primarily the occult videos, the videos I did on spirits, on occult related subjects, all of that stuff is saved. I have a copy of that, all of that. So yeah, even if the unthinkable, so to speak, happens and YouTube collapses and I'm just staring at my screen blankly like most people will while they're pulling out their hair, I'm simply going to say, oh fuck that, look at that nonsense. And after some sighing, I'm going to start, assessing the damage and then re-uploading, because I have the availability to do so. I have the backup to do so. So yeah, and this goes for any other document that I might have. I also have flash drives with backups. Well, not flash drives, plural, singular, flash drive with the backup of my stuff. So make no mistake, I just have everything saved, and I recommend people do so. It's the same thing with every other social media app, WhatsApp, you name it, Messenger, all of those things. Okay, if it's anything worth saving, then I suggest you store a backup. I have backup conversations. I back up most conversations that I've had with my customers and other people that are of noteworthy importance, where I can keep a log of all of their stuff. If I ever need to look something up, as in if someone after 20 years tells me, hey, listen, 10 years ago we spoke on WhatsApp and you told me so and so and so, I can easily look it up, quote unquote, easily look it up. So yeah, I would advise anyone out there, if you have something worth saving, then simply back it up and do so. I keep all of this stuff in the back of my head, so yeah, it's lately I've been noticing it more and more. Okay, these companies that were once on top of their games, companies like YouTube. No offense to YouTube, but then again, I don't care. Okay, it's not a matter of me biting the hand that feeds me, but I'm not going to filter myself or restrict myself in terms of speaking the truth and reality. You guys know how I roll and how I operate. No, YouTube is one of the sites, one of the many sites whose performance has decreased. People are familiar with Facebook, and I think other people have also noticed that. If you're someone that uses these sites every day, or at least frequently, then you'll see for yourself that yeah, they weren't at the stage they were at like 5 years ago or so. 5 years to 10 years ago, these sites were really on top of their game, and in terms of core functionality and ease of access and easy navigation and all of that stuff. The load time was quick, but now lately I've been seeing more stuff, more and more things. All of a sudden I'm watching a YouTube video and it will just randomly stop or freeze like boop, and I get some kind of stupid error, an error occurred, and I see a static, like I'm watching a static screen on a TV. I go on Facebook and all of a sudden this link won't work anymore, or that link won't work, or there's way too much spam. It just goes on and on and on and on. It's just honestly, I also did another video on this that you can watch on the end screen, the inevitable collapse of entities or something. As the saying goes, what goes up must come down. So it would not surprise me. Worst case scenario that I'm keeping in the back of my mind, so to speak, is that someday, one day, these companies will either gradually or outright in one hit or one fell swoop just collapse. And yeah, simply theoretically prepared for when that day comes, kind of like a digital doomsday scenario. In any case, that's all. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll hear it if you guys have anything else to say. And if you guys have anything on your mind, then just drop it in the comment section, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.